CPC, CTR, C3PO, CPL, R2D2. If you're new to the online advertising space, it can be extremely confusing with all the terms and the metrics, especially the fact that I named 2 Star Wars characters and some people might have missed it, right? It can sound that confusing. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down the most important advertising terms that you must know in order to run successful ad campaigns, right? This is especially for you if you're either brand new to the online space, and it's a little bit confusing because I know how it is, I was there once, or if you're just struggling running ad campaigns and you're back there thinking, what the heck is going on? What does all this mean? All right, so in this video, I'm going to walk through the most important terms, what they mean, how you can apply them to your business, and then most importantly, if you stick around till the end, I'm going to tell you what is the most important metric to look out for and watch in an ad campaign. All right, so make sure you stick around till the end. All right, so first one up, KPI. This isn't really much of a metric, but it is a term you must know, right? Simply there, it's key performance indicator, right? Ignore the big words. All it really is, it's the metric that is used to determine the success of a campaign, right? Now understand KPIs can be used in multiple different places in business, right? Each different department has their own KPIs, key performance indicators, right? So for example, the customer success department, their KPIs is retention, right? Keeping people on board, keeping the customers happy. However, in this case, we're going to be talking about online advertising specifically, right? All the KPIs that go into it, right? So again, the next terms I'm going to give you are going to be all KPIs, aka metrics, that dictate the success of a campaign. Number 2 here, CPM, right? Simply CPM means cost per 1,000 impressions, right? So before I dive into what that even means, first of all, what's an impression, right? This means when your ad's been seen, right? So don't get it confused with reach versus impression. Reach is how many people saw your ads. Impression is how many times that ad's been seen, right? So one person can see your ad 5 times. That's 5 impressions with 1 reach. I know reach isn't on here, but I just want you to understand the difference, okay? So impressions is how many times your ad's been seen. Now, of course, as the recording of this video, an impression could cost anywhere from 1 cent to 10 cents, right? Again, ad costs are going to go up, but as of the recording of this video, those are the statistics. So what you want to do is you want to understand out of every 1,000 people who see my ads, what is that costing me, right? That's what your CPM is. Next up, we have your CTR. What does that mean? It's your click-through rate, right? So there's some long drawn-out definition online you can look into. However, you're here for simplicity, right? I'm big on simplicity. What is CTR? How do you get it? It's really the number of clicks that you got as opposed to the number of impressions that you got, right? So clicks divided by impressions. How many people clicked versus how many people saw it, right? So for simplicity's sake, think about it this way, right? Your CTR is just out of every, let's say 100 people see your ads, out of every 100 impressions, 1 person clicks, that's a 1% CTR, right? So someone asks you what's your CTR? Clicks divided by impressions. 2 people click out of 100, 2%, 3%, so on and so forth, right? You get it, math, you got it. So anyway, that's your CTR, right? Now, what does your CTR mean? What does it do? What does it indicate? This dictates the engagement rate of your campaign, right? Really the relevancy of your campaign, right? So for example here, let's say the Chicago Bulls are running a discount on Chicago Bulls tickets. That click-through rate, if they're running it to people like myself who are huge Chicago Bulls fans, shout out to the Bulls, I'm clicking on that every single time I see that ad because I want to buy those tickets. That CTR is going to be through the roof because it's extremely relevant to me, right? They have the offer to audience match. That's what happens when you get that marriage. Now on the flip side, let's say you're showing hair products, right? If you're showing me hair products, I'm going to keep scrolling and I'm not going to click on that ad. Why? Because I don't really care much for my hair, right? So that CTR, that click-through rate, is going to be extremely low. That tells you you don't have a good offer to audience match, right? That audience is bad for that offer or vice versa. That's what your CTR tells you, okay? So make sure if you have a low CTR, low relevancy, high CTR, high relevancy to your audience, right? Now your next question is, Nsenzi, how do I know what's a good CTR? How do I know what's a bad CTR, low, high? How do I know my industry, my business, etc., right? First thing to understand is it varies, right? It varies. I go into many more details and much more detail and things like this in my free course. Go ahead and pick it up down below. Go to useoursystem.com. Again, there'll be a link somewhere down below to pick that up if you want much more detail on the specifics of what numbers to actually look out for, right? In this video, we'll keep it high level to make sure everyone gets it. Now we have our CPC, right? What does that mean? Cost per click, just as it sounds, right? So understand we have our CTR, which means how many people clicked versus how many people saw the ad. However, what you got to understand is every time someone clicks your ad, there's a cost associated with that, right? You pay for that click. That is what your CPC is. Now we have your cost per result. This metric's interesting, right? Because if you get on the back end of these platforms, right? Google, Big Blue, all these different platforms, they have different objectives, right? You can optimize for video views, brand awareness, traffic, conversions, leads, messaging. There's so many different objectives you can optimize for. Now, again, you're here for simplicity. What does optimize mean? It really means the algorithm is going to chase after that thing that you want the objective to do, right? Get you more views, get you more traffic, get you more leads, etc. Right? It'll look to use your dollars most effectively to get the thing that you chose, aka the result. Right? Now understand that result, there's a cost associated with it. That's what that is, right? Cost per result. So it varies based on the objective that you choose. Now we have the oh so famous CPL, cost per lead. Very, very simple here. It is basically how much it costs you to get one lead, right? So let's do some math here. Not too hard. I know you can keep up. All right. So you have your CTR, which is how many people click versus how many people saw. Then your cost per click, let's say it's $1, right? Now, assuming you're using the strategies that I go over and you're sending someone to some sort of a capture lead page, whatever it may be, to get the lead, right? Again, if you want more details on how we go about it, just go pick up the free course, useursystem.com, or click the link down below. However, when someone clicks your ad, they're going to be sent somewhere else, right? They're not a lead right away, right? So let's just say, for numbers' sake, your cost per click is $1, right? Let's say 5 people click your ad, but only one of them opts in. What is your cost per lead? $5, right? Because 5 people clicked, one person opted in to become a lead. That costed you $5, right? Cost you $5, right? So again, your cost per lead, your CPL is $5, right? So again, cost per lead is simply what it costs you to get a lead, right? Hey, really quick, if you're finding this video helpful, then go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm know that I'm doing something right, and more importantly, lets this video reach more people who may need more help just like you with this exact topic. But thank you, I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump back into the video. Next, we have here your CPA, right? Your cost per acquisition. Now, depending on where you learn this from, it can go by many different letters, right? CPS, cost per sale, or it can be CAC, customer acquisition cost, right? Many different ways, all mean the same thing, right? What did it cost me to get a new customer, to get a sale, get a client, whatever it may be, right? That's simply what it means. So let's do some math here, right? I know I'm making your brain hurt, right? So again, dollar cost per click, we're at $5 per lead. And if it takes 10 leads to get one customer, what's your cost per sale? What's your cost per acquisition? $50, right? Because you got 5 leads at 10, you got 10 leads at $5, that's $50. And let's say you're horrible at sales, you only close at 10%, which is fine. You close at 10%, you close 1 out of 10, $50 cost per sale. And if your item, whatever you're selling, your product, your program, your service is more than that, you made a profit, right? That right there is CPA. Last we have here is ROAS, right? Return on ad spend. This is very, very similar to CPA. However, this is taking in all of your ad spend, right? Whether you're running brand awareness campaigns, video views campaigns, impression campaigns, whatever it may be, what did you spend and what was my return, right? It's more so an overarching number, right? That's really, really simple there with ROAS. Now let's dive into what's the most important metric of all. It is your cost per acquisition, right? A lot of marketers I'll speak to, a lot of early on business owners who aren't really spending as much as we are online, they'll say, you got to get your CPL down. Oh, cost per lead is the biggest thing. Cost per lead, cost per lead. It's this big myth online, right? Let's think about this conceptually. Once you run enough in ads, you'll start to understand the only metric that matters is your CPA. So let's say we're both running campaigns, right? And I'm getting leads at $10 per lead, while you're getting leads at $5 cost per lead. Right? If you speak to a lot of marketers and a lot of gurus out there, they'll say, oh my goodness, you're doing fantastic. Low cost per lead, you're doing great. You're doing better than him. He's getting $10 per leads. Oh my goodness, he must be horrible. Okay. Now, what if I'm closing my leads and my customer acquisition cost is at $50, while your customer acquisition cost is at $75 to $100? right? Now you're thinking, oh, well, Senzi, you're making up numbers. Well, not really, because that's very possible. Now, again, numbers change, but understand the principle is usually if you're getting low cost leads, the leads are much less qualified, less of a chance of closing them. If you're getting higher cost leads and you're qualifying them the right way, they're usually more qualified leads, right? The more you pay for a lead, the better chance you have at closing if you're doing it the right way. That's the caveat, right? And again, go get the free course. I dive into how we qualify, how we actually keep the lead costs down while getting high quality leads, but I'm speaking more umbrella topics here, right? So again, understand the cost per lead is not the most important metric. If I'm getting customers, my customer acquisition cost is cheaper than yours, I'll pay $10 per lead all day, every day, as opposed to going down to $5 per lead and get cheaper leads, less qualified leads, potentially no sales, right? Again, numbers are umbrella, but understand the concept. That's why the most important metric you always want to look out for is your customer acquisition cost, right? Your CPA, your cost per acquisition. That's the one you want to look out for. So again, I hope this video was helpful. I know we did a bit of math there. I hope it didn't make your brain hurt. But again, watch this video again. If it did not make sense, go back and rewatch it. Do the math yourself. Make sure it makes sense. But hope this helps you go and run ads more confidently and look at the back end of these platforms and feel much more confident in the results that you're getting. If you need more help, again, pick up the free course or go on our website, check out more case studies, check out more videos. We'll be more than happy to help you out where we can. But again, hope this was helpful. See you on the next one. And let me know below if you have any more topics you want me to touch on. All right, take care. Talk soon.